What's going on, guys? About to check out this video from Sensitive Society, and if I'm not mistaken, it's about one of, what's his name? Hasan Piker. I was about to call him something crazy that would have got me in trouble. Hasan Piker's one of his henchmen. Frogan. Yeah, y'all know Frogan. We talked about nasty Frogan a few times. We even had high school pictures. Yeah, that's Frogan in high school. It's crazy, right? I got that straight from the yearbook. Anyway, let's see what's going on with her. Don't forget to hit the like button and the hype button and watch more videos. Subscribe to as well. Make sure you're still subscribed.
Do you guys remember Frogan, aka Froggy, aka the person, well, one of the people that were getting sued by Ethan Klein? Denims got sued, Casey Chong got sued and lost and had to pay and apologize. And the last person on that list was the one, the only, the iconic, the CEO of Burger King, Froggy, aka Frogan. It's been months, CEO, right? It's been a long time.
And don't call her Fergie. Yes. Definitely not no damn Fergie right there.
Since the last time we talked about Froggy here on the channel, and truth be told, I did miss talking about my queen. The title is
your queen. That sounds crazy. And I thought he was calling her hoagies, as in what's in her dressers. She got like 10 of them lined up for the day. Hoagie's another name for sandwich.
I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. Frogan lost the lawsuit. Long story short, Ethan Klein from H3 was suing Froggy, and I was one of the people among thousands, if not millions of people who were like, fuck yeah. Frogan got sued about 6 to 7 months ago. And today we got this insane update to the lawsuit. Ethan Klein won his lawsuit against Frogan. This is after Ethan Klein gave Frogan multiple opportunities to reach a settlement, to apologize. Let's meet somewhere in the middle. And Frogan thought she was Sigma and she thought she could win this. I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but she kept dodging receiving official documents by not answering the door or pretending she wasn't home. I talked about this a few months ago. Essentially, Frogan is beyond fucked. She lost. And even if she wants to reply right now to the lawsuit, it's way too late. Where the fuck did the money from the GoFundMe go? It completely disappeared. I believe she raised $50,000. Did she waste all of the money on DoorDash and Uber Eats Premium? Like, where did the money go? She didn't use it for the lawsuit because she never responded to said lawsuit. Where?
What she used it on? Uber Eats Premium? Yes. That's exactly what she spent it on. Happy Meals, nigga. What you mean? What you thought was about to be spent on? Pork chops, extra gravy, macaroni on the side. Money went to Big Macs. Yep. That's what that went to.
The fuck did the money go to? I think she pulled a Chibi Reviews and just stole money from people. Okay, so she raised $39,000. Let's just round it up to 40K. She didn't reply. Did she break GoFundMe TOS, or is she going to keep all the money? What is going to happen to the $40,000 that people donated to her for the lawsuit? YouTube lawyer Legal Mindset says, unless Frogan can show receipts, she may have violated GoFundMe's terms of service, especially 8.2, which prohibits misleading or inaccurate fundraisers. I would have done what Casey Tron did, and that is take the L, apologize, and meet somewhere in the middle. If this would have been me, I would have reached out to Ethan. That would
have been a smart move. That would have been the best move, the move that was logical. It seems like that's something that she never was capable of. She do whatever Hasan tells her to do. And Hasan told her to sit there and get it done. He don't care. He not going to donate to try to help. He not going to try to like tell her, hey, maybe this isn't the best option. As long as he could just sit in his millionaire mansion and just keep on making money and greasing his pockets while you struggle, he good.
I've been like, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What the fuck? Why did I say it like that? I'm sorry. Can we meet somewhere in the middle? I don't have $150,000 on me right now. Let's work together. All right. Let's figure something out. I'll take the L. What Frogan and Denims did was so stupid. They thought they would actually win. And well, look where Frogy is. If I was hurt, I would leave the country immediately. But let's go to a real lawyer. Not since I did not go to law school, even though I seriously considered it and I was this close.
And that's because today we have filed in the U.S. District Court, the Central District.
Hey, what's up, Harley? How you doing?
For California, we had filed a request for default judgment against defendant Morgan Kamal Majid. That is exactly Frogan in this case. So what is a motion for default judgment? That's a motion essentially saying, hey, they haven't responded. They passed the deadlines. So now we're going to assume liability. So once this is accepted by the court and approved by the court, liability is completely on Frogan. She gives up the fair use defense. She can no longer argue the law. All of that is out. The only thing left after this is damages. So you can argue over damages. So she would have a chance to speak up and say, no, the damages aren't that much, or let's argue over the damages. But essentially the trial is over. It's done. She's lost after this point. So let's get through the facts to figure out exactly how bad this was and how much Frogan did not put up a fight.
It's like, how stupid could you be? Like, don't get it wrong. I knew Frogan was fucking stupid, but how could you leave this lawsuit unattended? Now, because I don't want you guys to be as down bad as Frogan and others alike, you might want to hear this. I'm looking at you. Do you want to potentially earn $1,000? Recently, a jury order meta.
Man, if you don't get out of here with this, I'm glad getting your sponsors and all that. But no, thank you.
10 Entertainment hereby requests the clerk enter default in this matter against defendant Morgan Kamal Majid, PKA Frogan, on the grounds that the defendant has failed to appear or otherwise respond to the complaint within the time prescribed by the federal rules of procedure. Now, understand, this is not asking much. All that will be required is a very simple filing. She could have told her lawyer, hey, I'm on a budget. Hey, I don't want to spend that much money. Hey, try to keep this to, just a one pager, the bare bones. Let's just give a basic complaint response so we don't default. They could have kept that to a minimum amount. You can tell your lawyer, hey, keep this cheap, just the bare minimum. I want to delay this. I want to try to push this off. That's definitely something you could tell their lawyer, but they didn't even give that. And they've had almost a year at this point. So since August of last year. So this was filed, of course, June 19th of last year. July 17th of last year, Frogan got the complaint. And on August 5th of last year, they had a joint stipulation to extend her deadline from August to October and also give her time for these filings. Since then, they also engaged in settlement negotiations. Now, the counsel for both sides can't talk about the details of settlement negotiation. However, I would like to speculate here, if I may, and I would like to say that they probably did the bare minimum in negotiation to make it kick down the line, to just take this and extend this out as far as possible. Obviously, they didn't come up with an agreeable settlement. And I think during this period of time, Frogan was looking at Casey Tron and her settlement. And she was thinking, hey, look, if I settle, I'm going to have to give all of my legal defense fund over to Ethan Klein. And instead of doing that, let me kick this down the can and use those funds for my Big Macs. Yes.
It's funny because it's most likely true.
Did he say for Big Macs? Let me run that back.
Funds for my Big Macs. Yes.
That's funny. That's funny to use it for Big Macs. Wow. Yeah, that seemed like the move that she made.
It's funny because it's most likely true. This GoFundMe was for, let me read it bar for bar. Rogan's lawsuit defense fund. I don't know, guys. Maybe this is because my IQ is, 6 digits. But to me, this says I will use whatever money I make from this to fight the lawsuit against the bully that is Ethan Klein. Why not use your lawsuit defense fund on the lawsuit? I think Frogan is going to pocket this money. If not, this money already went to like 30 Big Macs. Hopefully that's not what happened. I don't understand why she didn't use her lawsuit defense fund to fight the lawsuit. I mean, that's what it's for, yet she didn't use it for that. Hopefully I'm getting my point across. It just looks extremely suspicious. I want to know, where is the money? Where did those $40,000 go to? That's a lot of money.
Let's use that for the Big Mac fund over this period of time. And as I whittle this down, we'll eventually just not ignore it, whatever else. And hey, maybe this will go away. And maybe she got advice that it'd be totally okay for her to just ignore this and default. Maybe she got somebody whispering in her ear, yeah, forget about it. He's not actually going to go after you, or it's going to.
They're idiots. Whoever said that, which is probably Hasan, they're stupid. Like, if she didn't learn from Casey Tron, it ain't gonna go her way. Oh my gosh, Denims is probably about to get it bad. And I'm thinking about it. It seemed like Ethan Klein just running through his whole, what do you call it? His henchman list. He getting all the Hasan Piker disciples.
Look bad, or you're going to become some sort of sob story. Well, that's not the case. The court, of course, at this point, had every right to enter into a default judgment, which is what they're requesting. So they informed them on April 20th that they intended to proceed with litigation, gave her 3 weeks, and their deadline to respond was May 11th. That did not come. That day came and gone. And now, boom, we're at default judgment territory. Now, how is this not a scam? Because if we look at her legal defense fund, her lawsuit defense fund on GiveSendGo, she raised almost $40,000, $38,756, including donations that were running up to this day. She was getting donations very, very recently that were coming into her fund. So she's still out there grifting for her legal defense, despite the fact that she hasn't really used this for legal defense. Really, there's been no filings on her part, significant filings, over almost a year. Since August of last year, she really hasn't done anything. So what's going on? Where did all this money go? Didn't she have to use that for legal funds? Well, I called this out last year, and I am proven absolutely right yet again that she tucked some weasel words in here so she didn't get hit with scamming or fraud allegations. So if we turn back to the actual language that she tucked into that GiveSendGo legal defense fund, you can see it says here, this fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint, talking about Ethan Klein. Any counterclaims I may have against him, well, she can't file any counterclaims if she defaults. That's totally gone. So that's some BS to begin with. And then saying any other bills and personal expenses.
I guess a Big Mac is a personal expense. I love the loophole. Maybe Frogan does have 5-digit IQ.
Having a Big Mac loophole. Nah, that's nasty work right there. You got a Big Mac loophole?
Maybe she played the whole system. Maybe she played all of us. Maybe this was her plan all along. Let's set to default. I'll lose, or maybe declare bankruptcy, and I'll get to make $40,000, which is probably more than she's ever made from her career streaming. And she's been streaming since 2020. So that's about what, maybe $8,000 per year. I swear to God, if this is her loophole for her to keep the money, that is insane. And it's becoming way too easy to seal. And I'm like, how come I haven't tried this? Let me set up a GoFundMe right now.
So her whole horse is going to be bet on personal expenses and bills. So she used this for rent. She used this once again for the Big Mac fund, chowing down on Cheetos, fried chicken, whatever else she did. But I mean, she was not using this for this fund. And because of that, she's able to say, hey, I didn't scam you because I put personal expenses in there. So you can't sue me. You guys can't come back and say I defrauded you because, hey, I disclosed this could be my personal expenses. So in judgment here, looking at this, I absolutely believe that she clearly used this for her personal expenses chiefly.
That's a Frogan ate it all. It's a Frogan ate it all, nigga. All the Big Macs that she could get. That's funny. It's cool. She's still the Dairy Queen.
I love that it says Frogan ate it all.
Because she really didn't do anything in this lawsuit significantly. Her legal bills are probably no more than a couple $1,000s in this. over totaling based on what she did. She really didn't have to spend more than that for what she's done so far. It really isn't that expensive to just, go and have settlement negotiations, do some bare bones work, etc. And not even filing a response, a basic short one.
What's up, Crowbar? You said that Frogan should just become a mukbang channel. She could be like Foodie Beauty. Well, what's the other person? Amber something? I don't know. I don't watch them.
2-page response, something very simple, is absolutely disgraceful.
That's
having put up a legal defense fund, not even putting up a fight, not even taking this to summary judgment or a further stage where she could try to make an attempt to argue the law, try to do what Denham's did. She's not even gone as far as Denham's, right? Denham's at least shown, hey, she's willing to put up some level of fight in this. She hasn't even tried. Frogan has been sitting in her room, not doing anything with this. And if you look at the actual liability, it's going to be large. It's going to be over 200K. Likely the statutory damages alone are up to 150K, and that doesn't include any of Frogan's profits or any of Ethan's lost revenue. So if they're able to cobble together 50 or 100K of lost profits or Frogan's revenue, something like that, as well as attorney's fees, because Ethan can tack his attorney's fees onto this, that certainly is going to be expensive, because we all know that Ethan has the best lawyers on this that are very expensive. That's certainly going to get over 200K. So we're looking at a 6-figure amount. That's going to be a lot for Frogan, for someone who is constantly begging for money and saying she's broke.
Oh, she is fucked. Like, I knew the situation was bad, but I mean, when you put it like that, yeah, she's fucked. She's probably not even going to make 200K in her whole streaming career. The only person that could come in here and save her is Hasan. And knowing Hasan, he's not doing that. He's too busy shocking dogs. So I don't think he's going to jump in and help Frogie out. Yeah, I think she's cooked. So yeah, instead of paying $40,000 or $50,000, now she's going to have to pay over $200,000. So
what do I think her strategy is? I think it's to declare personal bankruptcy. I think her strategy all along has been to deplete these funds. So even if Ethan Klein wins, she can say, hey, that fund is empty. I already drained that fund. So you can't get anything from that. And I am personally broke. She will declare bankruptcy after the judgment. So, hey, you're not going to get anything from me. So I think that's her strategy. Now, that doesn't always work out. In some cases, there can still be liability attached. Now, that's going to be up for Ethan Klein to figure out that and fight that battle. But I think that's going to be her strategy in all of this. But without a doubt, we can say that Frogan ate it all.
She got herself into this mess, and she did absolutely nothing to get herself out of this very shitty situation. She hasn't even tweeted.
Yeah, she just ate. She's had more cheeseburgers. That's how she tried to get out of it. She tried to eat her way out.
Or talked about the situation, which tells me that she's freaking out. I think it might be the end of Frogie. I gotta keep it real with y'all. I don't think Frogan is gonna be able to come back from this. This is as far as she gets. Her career online is pretty much over at this point.
You ain't gonna see me crying. You for damn sure ain't gonna see me crying about that. But tell me what you guys think. I think she deserves her downfall. Let me know in the comment section. Hit the hype button and the like button if you're able to. Make sure you're subscribed as well. But yeah, you ain't gonna hear me crying about that. Oh no. Frogan finally got consequences. Oh.